out the church. So far, this 309, I really can't say anything negative about it. It's got nice reach. The weight of this block is not, it's not phasing it. It can easily lift it up. The controls are a little different. It will take getting used to it. A lot of people commented about the electronic controls versus the pilot controls, I guess you would call it, the hydraulic controls. And obviously a learning curve as far as touch goes, because you don't have the same feel in this machine as you do with the like the 305.5 I've got, the 312 I had. I guess the older machines, if you want to call it that, even though that 305.5 is like the 2017, it was before they started this new electronic control joysticks. So, and I think that's the one thing I've seen in a lot of comments. People did have negative opinions on it. I guess if you run a machine like this quite a bit, there is a lack of touch, kind of like, you know, when you're trying to get real close to that edge, like right there. It's not quite as easy as it was with the other machines, the older machines. The previous generation of machine, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. But it's like everything else. It takes a minute to get used to it. Will you ever be able to get where you have the same feel through the controls? Probably not. I mean, it's just not. The design of it doesn't really allow that. So, but other than that, I mean, I enjoy it. It's worked well. Is working well. It is nice when you get to this size machine when you're loading like a triaxle down the truck. It's not a struggle. The 305 would reach over, but you know, you bang the stick a lot, or the boom, the arm, whatever you want to call it, on the sides, just because you're maxing out the reach a lot of times trying to get into, you know, if you're not sitting right against the truck, just trying to reach it in there. So for that reason, this is a heck of a lot more handy, beneficial, however you want to describe it. This job's kind of unique in itself. We've had a lot of people see it going on, and just small town, there's mixed feelings on development and improvement and growth and all that. So it's been an interesting morning, but everybody's leaving us alone right now, so that's a good thing. I don't know how much of this on the video, because a lot of it's repetition, just load the truck. But just to swing around here, we do have all that brick right there to load out today. So we'll see how it goes. Position here though, it's right on top of us. See if we can move around here a little bit. Make the neighbors happy again with some beeping. One of those small towns where I've lived here my whole life. I've traveled the world, but I've lived here my whole life. And people like to complain. They like more restaurants, more of this, more of that. then when it comes to what it takes to get those, you know, everybody has an opinion and likes to voice their opinion, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to that, but you know, it's not helping progress when you do that. And I guess everybody's definition of progress is different as well. So. Opinion, it would be nice if the younger generation could live here as adults, go to school, whatever, college, get out and actually have jobs. Where currently it's just not really a huge thing here. Yet we have a lot of people who like to complain about this project or any demolition project. You know, it's inconvenience, it's loud, it's dusty, it's, you don't like people doing it at this time, you don't like people doing it at that time, but I mean, it's just, it's the way it is. It's just got to be that way, so never a dull moment. In theory, I should probably have the blade turned the other way to stop this material from coming in against me, but I'm trying not to make any bigger of a mud hole than I have to. Has been the first job for this 309. Been a few little delays with technicalities on the job site and different weather issues, issues with the demolition. I'm not doing the demolition, I'm mainly just doing the hauling of this. Just loading and hauling. But we're on it now. Fill it all the way up. There's no real need to push legal limits on this one because this concrete stuff is heavier than wood and sheetrock and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're about there. So. This and then head out and see what type of chaos we can get into trying to pull out here. separate over here, which I don't blame them. Not bringing a huge amount of money right now, but it's a little bit extra. I'm trying not to just gouge this up right here because it is going to be used for driving in and out to load some of the materials, so we're going to probably put some rock over it. Try to keep the mud down. As you can see, there's a little patch of what was grass right here now, so it's dirt. But but the main obstacle is keeping this mud off the road. I mean, it's a state highway, and nobody will be too happy about that. Back direction. Big gravel right here. There used to be a playground area set up inside here. Whenever I had mainly the landscape part of the business, not so much the excavation. Back when I was in high school, I installed all this pig gravel in here in this playground area. It's kind of funny, it comes full circle here. 30 years later, 20 some years later. Here I am taking it out. Moving it around again. One thing that is nice, this machine has a really nice backup camera and the size of it and everything, so you can kind of control what you're doing and not just destroy the world when you're working in reverse, trolleying around, everything like that. That should work out pretty good right there. Back the truck in here next room. Spread this out a little bit better. There we go. This is a little video. We'll follow up with maybe the dumping it, pushing it off where the sinkhole I'm putting the block in.